लोग टेंशन बनाने लोग एंट्री करना सॉन्ग
I don't know. It's fun. Well, I didn't know I was going to get to hold the mic, so there's an extra benefit here. Families, friends, faculty, cohort 15, our graduating class of 2024. Welcome to graduation day here at San Francisco State University. I am Professor Barbara Henderson, the humble yet very proud director of this transformative doctoral program in social justice and equity. I'm now completing my 8th year of leadership. San Francisco State campus is on the peninsula, is located on the unceded and occupied lands of the Ohlone people, including the Ramaytush and the Muwekma. The San Francisco campus in Marin County is on the land of the coastal Miwok and the southern Pomo, who are organized as the Federated Indians of the Groton Rancheria community. We acknowledge these people for the stewardship of these lands over the centuries, for their continued existence as sovereign peoples involved in active efforts to preserve and revive their cultures and seek rectification and rematriation of their lands as through the Shumi land tax. Okay, let me say I'm amazed and pleased that you're all here today. As a group, Cohort 15 has blithely ignored updates for their paperwork or to read their emails. But here you are to celebrate, and you told your family and friends too, so good job. I get it now. Your coping mechanisms for people who are full-time doctoral students, full-time leaders in the schools, and people with lives actually work. So good job. All right, first let's get to know each other a little bit. So audience, I'm asking for your participation here. By a round of applause, who has been here on the San Francisco State campus before? Oh, that's remarkable. So we really are the city's university. All right, now let's hear it from the others. If this is your first time on campus, please applaud now. Exciting. For some of you in Cohort 15, it was also your first time on campus. Okay, now for the most important question. Who's ready to celebrate some incredible achievements today? That's so great. Welcome to all of you. To begin with, let me say that Cohort 15 has set the bar so high that we might have to install an elevator for the next cohort. These are a group of leaders, advocates, scholars, and loving, thoughtful, responsible humans with whom I have loved working these past 3 years. Cohort 15, we graduate to celebrate your academic achievements, your resilience, and your dedication today. When you began your journey in this program, our campus was still quiet and locked down due to COVID. Meanwhile, many educational settings where you were leaders were already back in person. You advocated for what you needed most, the return of in-person learning, and your advocacy was instrumental in rekindling the dynamic, collaborative, and community spirit that's always been a hallmark of our program. Indeed, your voices were instrumental in shaping how the state of California moved forward because you are school leaders. Yet your journey has been about much more than adjusting to the pandemic. Over the course of your studies, the societal and political landscape has shifted dramatically. As leaders, you are now facing unique challenges in 2024. The ongoing debates on campuses, within school boards, and in communities about critical race theory, pushback against anti-racism, and the rights and recognitions of the LGBTQ+ community are more than current events. These are the arenas in which you operate. They demand your attention and require your active, informed, and compassionate leadership, which luckily each of you has in abundance. As we proceed with today's program, we have a lineup that celebrates tradition as well as innovation. Our agenda includes brief remarks from the university administration and our distinguished keynote speaker, Dr. Hill. Selected by the graduates, Dr. Hill is a 2020 grad of this program, and he was a pivotal faculty member in the fall and spring of Cohort 15's first year of classes. Next will be our student speakers, followed by the honorary hooding of the graduates. And that will be the longest part of the ceremony, as each graduate will be recognized from the stage and then receive their doctoral hood. A brief note, Provost Tsuyoshi cannot be here due to emergency, but we appreciate her support for this doctoral program. Okay, let me say a bit more about our unique doctoral hooding ceremony. We've adopted a decolonizing approach. It was first suggested by Pacific Islander scholar, school leader, and activist Dr. Wesley Hingano and the rest of his 2021 graduating class, who took inspiration from the honorary gifting of leis, also known as kohona in Tongan or ula in Samoan. So now, as we have done for the past several years, each graduate has chosen a faculty member, one or two family members or friends, or some combination of these to place the doctoral hood over their head and then lovingly arrange it around their shoulders. This shift from traditional hooding, which representatives from the institution always bestow the honor, acknowledge the significant support networks behind each scholar's journey and their humble gratitude to you as friends and families near and far. It's also the approach that is fully aligned with the critical and liberatory philosophy that undergirds our program. I want to take a minute here to profoundly thank Alicia Solar, our program analyst, for meticulously organizing today's festivities. Thank you, Alicia. Additionally, my thanks to Dr. Violet Ballard, our graduate coordinator who teaches, helps me to run this program, and who helped all members of Cohort 15 through their institutional review board paperwork. Thanks also to Dr. Chris Collins, student advisor, who helps to meet all of our students' needs, and who, as chair of our admissions committee, was pivotal in opening the door for each of you to start your doctoral journeys. More broadly, my thanks to all of our dedicated faculty, staff, and administration who are here today. Thank you for being here to help us celebrate. Your presence significantly enriches our gathering. Cohort 15, as we stand here today amidst these unfolding challenges and possibilities of today's world, you are our honored graduates. And you are also our necessary leaders, a different kind of leader that California and the nation urgently need. Your education in social justice and equity here at San Francisco State has prepared you to face these challenges and transform them, to lead, to advocate, to come with passion and unyielding commitment to the principles of fairness, justice, equity, and liberation. In closing, I draw upon the words and life of Dr. Angela Y. Davis, who was inspired by the Serenity Prayer to say, "I am no longer accepting the things I cannot change. I am changing the things I cannot accept." Let these words be more than a call to reflection. Let them be a call to action. As you step forward from today, embody this spirit. You are a group of leaders already in the midst of this work. Continue to challenge the status quo, disrupt unjust systems, and create spaces that foster equity and respect. You have the tools, the knowledge, and the passion to make meaningful change. Go out there and transform our world, not because it's easy, but because it's necessary. Because you are no longer willing to accept the things you cannot change. You are here to change the things you cannot accept. Congratulations, Cohort 15, on your monumental achievements. Let's go forth and make some waves. California and beyond await you. Okay, so now as MC, I am next welcoming our first speaker from the Graduate College of Education, Associate Dean Tammy Spencer. Thank you for being here to speak.
Thank you, and it is a pleasure to be here and to speak on behalf of the May I put that down? Yeah? Okay, sorry. On behalf of the Graduate College of Education, it is truly, truly a pleasure to be here with you today. I am the Associate Dean, and I want to send, on behalf of the Dean's Office, our most sincere congratulations for this tremendous milestone. It has clearly taken hours upon hours of work and time to be here today, and certainly the majority of it has been done by you. With that said, you've done so within community. And so I would like to build upon what Dr. Henderson has said, to just take a moment and to thank the families and friends and community that are here today. So may we please give a huge round of applause to those folks. If you can, stand up and maybe even give a wave or eye contact to let them know, right, that you are here. Yeah. Thank you for being in community with us today and for supporting our students in their journey. I'd also like to take a moment to thank the faculty and staff of the university who are also here and have guided you to get to this point. Can we give them a roaring round of applause as well? So your doctoral studies might be nearing their end. But yeah, woo, is right? However, your work as colleagues, right, in academia, have only just begun. And indeed, our world and our research community and our practice need folks like you. You've asked questions about equity, justice, right, community and common good, right? You've asked questions that many folks in academia have been afraid to ask or have chosen not to. Again, we thank you for these commitments that ground your research and your ideas, and we can't wait to see where this goes. You're at a point where this part of your milestone might be nearing an end, but please know that it is only just the beginning of your work in academia, and we can't wait to continue to be colleagues with you and thought partners, and I'm just so excited to see where this is going to go. So congratulations. It's been an honor to be here today, and thank you.
I'm now welcoming Dr. Landon Hill, the elected keynote speaker for today's event. Welcome, Landon. Thank you for being here.
All right. Which mic am I supposed to use? Doesn't matter. Thank you, Dr. Henderson. Thank you all. Huh? Oh, let's see. I don't know how to do all this stuff. All right. So, but thank you all for allowing me to be here. As Dr. Henderson said, my name is Landon Hill. I am an alumni of this EDDL program. I also have had the pleasure of serving as an instructor for all of the first-year students over the course of the last 4 years now. And so, cohort 15, this class of 2024 was my second year that I was teaching in the program, and so I'm just honored to be here and to see all of your family and friends and community here. So thank y'all for the honor. Also, just recognizing my wife who's here with me today. You know, I gotta recognize her, and my daughter is not here, but y'all are familiar with her. She be nosy on Zoom, so she pops up anytime we had Zoom classes, and so just recognizing and honoring them as well. I will say, despite how honored I am, and the twisting of the hood may have already acknowledged this, y'all made a horrible choice picking me. I don't know why y'all decided, of all people, and I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why. Listen, no, I love it. It's not because of that, but it's a few reasons why. Okay, first, you know, as I said, I don't always know how to do the formalness of this. I don't really speak as often, and so, you know, y'all got somebody who 15 minutes is a long time. I'm not a preacher. I'm not a stand-up comedian. Like 15 minutes just to talk is like, when you think about it, it's kind of crazy. And you're not having a conversation with other people, right? So it's just a long time. We may not go the whole 15. We'll see. We gonna see. You know, and you know, I actually come from a long line of talkers. My dad, like, if people haven't met my dad talks on my uncles. That gene kind of skipped over me a little bit, so we gonna see how that goes. But the other part too, the other reason that, like, I think y'all really made a terrible choice is that I'm much more of a writer than I am a speaker. So if I had to, like, demonstrate any sort of doctoralhood at all, it's through my writing. It's not really through speaking, you know, and I'm not the greatest writer, but, like, yeah, my writing is really where it kind of shows up, you know what I mean? But in all seriousness, one of the reasons why I'm joking up until now, but one of the reasons why I'm saying in jest, like, I'm not really a great keynote speaker is because I oftentimes, when I'm listening to keynotes, I'm like, yo, can we just get to what we need to get to, right? Like, I'm just here to get this done. I know what I need to get done. I don't need to be motivated. I showed up for a purpose. Like, let's get to it, right? Like, we here, we know what we're trying to do. And so I've gone to conferences. I came from a conference not too long ago, just a couple weeks ago. And, there are some amazing keynote speakers. There are some folks who are, you got the gift of gab. You can be very inspirational. And so for those who do have that gift, I admire that. But oftentimes, I'm sitting up, I might grab 1 or 2 jewels and I'll take that and, we'll run with it. And so if I even offer that, then that's great. But oftentimes I find myself like, I know what we're here for. If I'm here for a conference, let me get to the breakout session I need to get to get the information I need to get. Let me do the networking I need to do so that I could go back and do the work. And that leads me to you all right? Like, that leads me to you all. I feel kind of set up, actually. What could I say to a group of students, a group of scholars, a group of educators who don't really need to be motivated? All right, like, y'all came into this program already knowing exactly what you wanted and what you needed to do, and I don't think that there's much more that I could really say to motivate you all. I think about over the course of the 4 years that I've been here, and every cohort has been uniquely different. My first cohort, the one that just graduated last year of 2023, they were like, you could just tell, they were just excited to be in the doctoral program. We were still in the midst of the pandemic. It was almost exclusively virtual. And you could just tell that they were just like, this is a new journey. Everybody's excited. They want to learn. And that makes it easy to teach, right? Like, you could just tell that everybody's like, this is just something new and exciting. The cohort that's just behind you all, who will be graduating next year, they had some of the most creative topics that I think we had come across, or at least I had come across in this program. And so, that's just a new challenge when you have people thinking about things in new ways, or different topics even that you hadn't really considered before. This current cohort, they call themselves the Peacock cohort. They are very eclectic, you know what I mean? It's an eclectic group, and I love them for that. And you can tell they want to get it right. Like, they're just like, what do we need to do? Does the paper need, what's the APA? Like, they want to get it all exactly perfect, right? But y'all, when I think about you all and this cohort, I don't know if y'all remember the Gangsters, Wanksters, and Writers article that we read, right? And for those who do not know, if you haven't read this article, Jeff Duncan Andrade, who also was instrumental in this program, at least from my understanding, what I've always heard, he has this article called Gangsters, Wanksters, and Writers. And in this article, there's this paradigm or this framework that he sets up that says that there's essentially 3 types of educators or leaders within our educational system. One is the gangsters. And these are the folks who really kind of have a disdain and kind of a disinterest in really doing the real work, right, within education. They are the folks who, they show up, really don't have nearly the same love or respect for the students, for the community, for the families that they serve. They may be there just to collect a check. And so, that's really what the gangsters are. The wanksters are those who kind of sit in the middle, right? Like, they still have love for their students, but they've kind of been jaded after a while, right? The systems kind of start to tear them down, take them down, and so they're not able to give nearly as much as maybe they were able to from the very beginning, right? But then you have your writers, right? And the writers are the ones who, Andrade says, they give despite all those efforts, right? They're not scared to take that risk of being emotionally involved, of fighting through the toughest times. These are the folks that you can trust and count on during the most kind of stressful incidents or times that folks may be experiencing. And when I think about this cohort here, not just individuals, but like as a collective, like these were the riders. Like these were the folks who showed up and brought that energy every single time we came to class. And again, that's not to say that the other cohorts didn't have that they don't, that they're not writers in and of themselves, because some of them may be listening, and I'm not suggesting that at all. I promise I'm not. But the collective energy that you all brought is something that taught me how to teach, right? Like that teaches you have to force yourself to give your absolute best and not just show up just to do the thing, but to make sure that you all felt like you were getting what you needed in order to do the work that you set out to do, right? And so that's why I come in here like, what am I supposed to tell this group that already got everything that they needed, did everything that they were supposed to do, had a purpose from the onset, and wasn't trying to hear anything that was getting in their way of actually achieving that goal, right? And so here's what I'm here to say, and I think Dr. Henderson already began to say this in some certain terms, is that I know over the course of 3 years, a lot can change, right? That same passion that you came in with, sometimes that fire isn't always fanned. Sometimes doing the paperwork that was just talked about, right, can feel like it's getting in the way. Alicia, thank you for texting me. I don't know where she is right now, but because my emails, yeah, she was probably mad at me too. I know I've been there, I've done that. My email game is not the greatest. My text message game ain't always the greatest, but at least she was able to confirm with me today. But paperwork can get in the way, you know. You can, whatever personal challenges you all may have experienced could really get in the way, right? Sometimes the program gets in the way. I stood up here during my graduation ceremony and talked about that, and we know that we all are going through our own work and need to improve at all times as well. So sometimes the program gets in the way. Sometimes we just lose some of that motivation and that steam over the course of 1, 2, 3 years. And so if by any chance you all lost a little bit of that steam, I'm hoping that during this time we can rekindle that, because this is not a celebration of you all finishing a dissertation. It's not a celebration of you all completing coursework. It's not a celebration of just saying that, like, you went through a program. It is a recognition that you all have done the work to equip yourselves with all the tools and the resources necessary to keep chipping away at these systems that you came here to fight in the first place, right? Like so many folks, and I say this, recognizing the current climate, and so I use this analogy lightly. But when I think about the fact that y'all came in here and we think about chipping away at systems, like, this is a war that we are in. And I don't mean that as it pertains to individuals, right? Like, I subscribe to Dr. King's philosophy around love as it pertains to humanity and individuals. But when we talk about systems and structures, like, this is a war. This is a battle that we're going up against, right? And so in that same vein, you all already came in fighting that battle, fighting those wars. And I did not do no deep dive on, like, what the rank and file is of generals or colonels or whatever, but you are now elevated to a new position and a new stature with these new tools, with these new skills that you have gained to really fight this war and this battle. Because you already had the passion, the instincts, the understanding as to what was really going on. And so I hope that you all are taking this time, taking these, for any of you who either just finished or getting ready to finish your defenses, right? That is about showing and demonstrating that you have equipped yourselves with the necessary tools to continue with that fight and with that battle and with that war, right? And again, I say that I say that not to make light of any current circumstances, but to recognize that even what we are seeing in today's climate is because of many of these systems and oppressions that you all came in here so ready to get at already, right? And so make sure that as we go through today, as you all are getting hooded, as you all are being celebrated, as you all are really, and for the folks in the back, I know I'm talking directly to the cohort, but this is where I feel like the energy needs to be placed right now. So I'm not ignoring you all, but this is about this group here. And so as you all are preparing for that today, like, celebrate that you've done the work, maintain that joy that you need in order to continue to do the work, but also remember that it does not end today. This is something that continues to go on, and that fight, that energy, that just sometimes you just got to that you got to bring into the classroom, right? Like, I remember you all. I remember folks, coming in dealing with staff members who was quitting or trying to get stuff, trying to get them kicked out of positions, right? Because they weren't the writers, they was the gangsters, right? Like, I remember people coming in needing to really doing the groundwork, working with communities who don't even speak or have written languages, right? Working with mom populations. I know the folks who I have brought some some of you all into my own organization, wanting to do the work, right? I didn't say this, I'm a horrible speaker again, but I work at an organization called the East Oakland Youth Development Center, right? And working with my babies every day, like I only want to bring in folks who I know are really going to elevate them and give them their best. I have brought in or talked to many of you about doing work with them because I know who you are and the caliber of scholars that you are. For those of you who are working on still trying to get your topic to even be recognized within academia, right? Like, that is the right of work. That is what it is that you all were called to do and you have stepped up to do. And so do not let anything kill that motivation, kill that fire, that passion. We're here to recognize you all because you have been doing that even throughout the course of these 3 years, and I trust and believe that you will continue to do so. So I don't know what time I'm at right now. If we had 3 minutes or 15 minutes or 12 or whatever the case may be, but regardless of what the time is, I truly hope, I am proud of you all. I have said from the beginning, although I was an instructor in the class, I see myself as a peer, as a colleague. I am happy to call myself that. I hope that if there is anything that I can continue to support with along the way, that you all would reach out and that I can do the same. And I'm really, really excited to see where this journey continues to take you and how we can continue to work collectively to really make this world better for ourselves, for our communities, for our families. So thank you all again. Thank you, families, for being here, and I appreciate the time.
Okay, we move now to our distinguished student address. Dr. Pia Wallawalker was elected by the faculty, and including the executive committee, to take this role, and it is a university recognized, each program gets one, and so Pia was ours, and we are so excited for her to have a chance to speak to the group. Congratulations, Dr. Wallawalker, and it's your turn.
Thank you, Dr. Henderson. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Namaste. Buenos dias. Magandang umaga. Bom dia. Bonjour. Guten Tag. I am truly grateful and honored to receive this award. And as cliched as it might sound, I honestly believe that each member of my cohort is equally deserving of this recognition, and so I share my award with my cohort 15, wholeheartedly. We are all distinguished because succeeding in this accelerated doctoral program alongside our professional responsibilities and personal lives is incredibly challenging. Within our cohort are educators, counselors, social workers, and administrators ranging from early childhood education to four-year institutions, as well as community organizers, grassroots activists, and a Catholic sister. All of us already have overwhelming workloads without the added rigors of the EDD program. At the same time, several of us are also parents and caregivers to human and furry loved ones, our lives requiring us to show up with immense love, resilience, patience, and adaptability. On top of all this, each of us is engaged in deep socio-emotional and political work through our research to address systemic injustices in our educational spaces and society at large. Life is full of imagination, and it certainly is not mindful enough of keeping its shocks and surprises until we have completed our academic pursuits. We began our journey together amidst a global pandemic, and over the past 3 years, members of our cohort have gotten married, become parents, embarked on new career paths, relocated homes, and faced health challenges for themselves or their loved ones. And yet, here we are, the entire cohort, glowing, distinguishedly, as though it were entirely graceful and effortless. This EDD program has a tradition of breaking traditions. And in keeping with that spirit, today, we are breaking the tradition of having 2 student speakers speak independently. I am delighted to invite my close friend, study partner, and this year's elected student speaker, Dr. Adriana Lebowitz, to join me so we can host it.
I'm not going to cry. Thank you so much, Dr. Pio Walawakar. Good morning to all those gathered today. I am incredibly honored to be your student speaker, elected by my cohort, this brilliant and heart-centered group of educators, leaders, and friends. I was honestly speechless when I found out I had been elected, mostly because it was so meaningful to be chosen by my peers to represent us on such a special day, but also because I am honestly deathly afraid of public speaking. So thank you for that. However, when I found out my dear friend and fellow anxious public speaker, Pia, was to be fittingly honored as the distinguished student and wanted to co-speak with me, I immediately felt comforted and confident that I could do this. Thinking I couldn't possibly do something, but finding the support I needed in my cohort is a good way of summing up this experience in this EDD program. Cohort 15, each and every one of you has made this rigorous and intense experience not only manageable, but enjoyable. As Pia mentioned, getting here today is an enormous feat, and I truly believe we found the strength in each other to cross the finish line. Today, as Pia and I prepare to address you together, this collaboration feels natural. Throughout the past 3 years in this program, Pia and I have co-presented together, edited countless of each other's drafts, and been sounding boards for one another. But I would say what is more important than any of this, for these 2 overachieving students who push ourselves way, way, way too hard, we have held each other accountable for self-care and self-love. So today we are not going to speak about the many professional skills we acquired in the program, theories we dissected, histories we learned and more importantly unlearned, or insights from our research. Instead, we are going to focus on the life lessons that emerged from our experiences these last 3 years that transformed us on a deep and human level, what we learned from all of you. And fair warning, we are going to get personal, but cohort 15, I know that's our general vibe. So the first lesson we will share is how we learn to try to be more kind to ourselves.
There are many reasons behind this need to push ourselves to overachieve that Adriana just mentioned. I will share something personal to me because I know that my experiences and feelings are not unique to me. Underneath all these degrees, certificates, and awards lies a very vulnerable spirit that has constantly needed to prove itself that the person it inhabits is enough, is worthy. As a child, the message I received was that there was something lacking in me, which I did not entirely believe. But instead of not just believing and feeling affirmed within myself, I sought to prove it to myself that I was in fact enough by getting good grades, turning in assignments before time, trying to excel at every task, and essentially people-pleasing. While this striving has served me, I wouldn't be here without it today. I also recognize that this being a tyrant to myself causes me pain and limits my ability to enjoy the sweet side of life. I realized I needed to show up for myself with gentleness, kindness, and love, and encourage others to do the same for themselves.
When I first entered this program, my inner critic, whom I have named Dolores, found some fertile ground. She asked me, "Who do you think you are? Why are you not home with your family? ¿Y por qué no dejas esto?" Dolores told me, "You do not belong here. You are not smart enough. Y no eres suficiente." Well, little did Dolores know this EDD experience was going to push her into the distance. I found out I was pregnant 2 weeks before I started this program, while already having a toddler at home. Hi, Emma and Nora out there crying. I thought about quitting before I even started. Instead, I was immediately surrounded by support and love by my cohort members. They even planned the most beautiful baby shower, diaper tower, and all. During our first weekend back in person from the pandemic. In one of our first classes, Dr. Meeker started her course by saying, "You belong here." Every time I felt self-critical or unworthy of being here, I remembered that affirmation. During class, members of my cohort expressed their own struggles with imposter syndrome and their relentless journeys with their own inner critics. We shared lifelong experiences in academic spaces where we have felt less than, and the seemingly insurmountable obstacles and unjust struggles that have stood in the way. Being there for each other spanned beyond the classroom. The amount of cohort potlucks we've had, I can't even count them anymore. And yes, we even supported each other while eating wraps, or as John likes to call them, colonized burritos. I am looking at all of you, cohort 15, when I say this. You helped me be kinder to myself. Together, we found that we all belonged here and did not have to do anything special or inauthentic to make that true.
The second lesson we would like to share with you is the value of generosity. The self-care industry is booming, offering a variety of bubble baths and face masks, essential oils, massages. But none of them are powerful enough to corrode this unhealthy mentality of self-doubt and unworthiness. For me, healing has come from people in my life who doubt my self-doubt and shine a light on my worthiness and patiently encourage me to see it for myself. The generosity of others, chosen families, friends, mentors, my dissertation committee, my entire cohort, and those many who root for me even without knowing me too well. Their generosity of spirit helps me heal from this unhealthy mindset. A couple years ago, when our cohort was still getting to know each other, we had a leadership class where we were tasked with a group activity where we were to identify leadership qualities from a provided list, those that we possessed and those we needed to nurture. I began by expressing how, as an introvert and not holding leadership positions, I lacked several of those qualities on the list. The group I was with challenged me immediately, lovingly, telling me all the reasons I had and many of those qualities and backing those with specific examples. They were defending me from myself. And the various members of our cohort have done that for each other as though it was our unwritten mission to lift each other up. It takes immense generosity of spirit to help someone see those aspects of themselves that they cannot see or are trained not to see, so others can be seen. Throughout the last 3 years, Adriana has pushed back on every self-limiting belief I shared with her. My former college president has done the same and shared her reasons for wanting to see me in leadership roles. Her confidence in my potential inspired me to pursue this doctoral degree. Thank you. My dissertation chair and committee gently and generously pushed me to own my voice and space in my research, writing, and work. I would say the same about my friends who believed in me even when I didn't, not only during the last 3 years, but through the various ups and downs in my life. There are undoubtedly several external barriers that is, as a society, we need to address. However, there aren't many initiatives and policy changes that can help a person overcome internal barriers. But individuals who show up generously and patiently for others, believe in their worthiness, can help those like me overcome internal barriers. So what we are taking from the last 3 years is a profound value of generosity extended to us by our families, friends, mentors, our committee, our cohort, and the EDD program instructors and staff. And so we intend to show up with the same generosity for others because it is both healing and infectious. It really does pay forward.
The final life lesson that we will talk about is the power of human connection. We entered this program when we were all still sheltering at home. We were isolated from our communities and the world. Supporting my husband with cancer, I have put up so many walls to protect myself from what feels like an unwelcoming and dangerous world. Once again, this program and our cohort taught me better. As Pia mentioned, we have intimately shared with each other losses, births, celebrations, transitions, failures, successes, and on and on. As I look at the world around us, the wars, the pain, I think we have forgotten how to practice this level of human connection. I think about how students at the college where I work are building relationships with AI chatbots instead of each other. Human connection is a muscle we need to build. It's a daily practice. I ask myself, are we losing sight of this in the age of AI and social media? As I pondered this, I wanted to experiment, so I asked ChatGPT to define human connection for me. It said, human connection is an emotional bond between individuals. I disagree. I think it's much, much deeper than that. I see human connection as being there for someone else in their humanity while sitting in your own humanity. It's listening without planning your next response or thinking about yourself. It's about connecting over what makes us all human. This is what we've done as a cohort for the past 3 years. So, let's exercise this muscle together today. Pia and I invite you to turn to someone next to you, someone you don't know, and introduce yourselves. If you know everyone around you, that's okay, do this anyway. We can always go deeper. We're gonna take a couple minutes to connect. Okay, everyone, let's not get us in trouble here and get back to the program.
Thank you, everyone, for your kindness and generosity in listening to us be vulnerable, honoring our personal stories, and joining us in a practice of human connection.
Let's continue to move in this world, showing up for ourselves and others with kindness and generosity and fostering human connection.
Thank you so very much, everyone in attendance, and most of all, Cohort 15, and congratulations.
¡Felicidades!
Amazing. I can't believe it. All right. We are now moving to the honorary hooding part of our ceremony. The way we'll do it is the graduate will stand on the X. And the people that the graduate has chosen to hood them will step onto the stage and then coordinate with the hood that the graduate has in their hand to place the hood around their neck and hopefully not strangle them or put it on backwards. Or if you do, don't worry about it. Just pretend it's right and be proud. So each person gets to stand there, and we have our photographers to take photos. So take a minute to pose, and if your family wants to take photos as well. This is the main part of our ceremony. I will read from the front each of the dissertation titles and committees, and then people will, and you're welcome to start proceeding to the front as we announce you. And we have this in alphabetical order, A to Z. So that means that Nautilin gets to be first. Congratulations. Congratulations to Dr. Nautilin Abayan. Her dissertation title is Unveiling Hidden Faces, Faith, Spirituality, Gender, and Community in the Lives of Pinay Early Childhood Education Leaders. Her dissertation chair is Dr. Daniel Meyer, and her committee members are Dr. Barbara Henderson and Dr. Alison Tintiago Cubales, who just hooded her. Congratulations, Dr. Abayan. Our next graduate is Dr. Brian Augsburger. Dr. Augsburger dissertation title is Cultivating Spaces that Support Successful Onboarding Experiences for Black Students in California Community Colleges. His dissertation chair is Dr. Rama Kassad. His committee members are Dr. Daniel Meyer and Dr. Jamal Cooks. And these are the children that we see in the Zoom portrait. Congratulations, Dr. Augsburger. For the next candidate, Dr. Maria Jose Bastias, I yield the podium for a proper pronunciation of her dissertation title.
Muy buenos días. El título de su disertación es La interpretación y uso de datos para liderazgo comunitario entre mujeres inmigrantes latinas e indígenas. a translation into English, Immigration, Latina, and Indigenous Women's Interpretation and Use of Data for Community Leadership. Her dissertation chair is Dr. Maricel Santos, and committee members Dr. Ali Borjan and Dr. Landon Hill. ¡Felicidades!
That was doctoral faculty member, Dr. Maria Zavala, so thank you, doctor. Our next candidate is Dr. Erica Cespedes. Her dissertation title is Freedom is a Constant Practice, Decentering Oppression Narratives in an Ethnic Studies Classroom. Her dissertation chair is Dr. Alex Meja. Her committee members are Dr. Angelica Camacho and Dr. Landon Hill. Congratulations, Dr. Cespedes. Our next honoree is Dr. Christine Chilcott. Her dissertation title is Better Together, Identifying Factors to Create Successful, Sustainable School Community Partnerships. Her dissertation chair is Dr. Sheldon Jen. Her dissertation committee members are Dr. Barbara Henderson and Dr. Sean McPetridge. Congratulations, Dr. Chilcott. Our next honoree could not be here today because he is celebrating his son's graduation. John Cristobal's dissertation title is Transforming the Success of Oppressed Students in Community College Transfer-Level Math Courses Through Grading and Assessment. I am his dissertation chair, and his committee members are Dr. Micah Watanabe and Dr. Violet Ballard. Our next honoree is Dr. Yvonne Dobel. Their dissertation title is Resistance, Persistence, and Hustle, How Justice System Impacted Students Experience Social Work Degree Programs. Her dissertation chair is Dr. Evra Baldinger. Her committee members are Dr. Angelica Camacho and Dr. Rini Rondon Jackson. Congratulations, Dr. Dobel. Our next honoree is Dr. Keisha Emmendorfer. Dr. Emmendorfer's dissertation title is A Path Towards Equitable Grading, Reforming Grading Practices with High School Teachers in a Traditional Public High School in California. I am her dissertation chair, so I'll be up there in a second to help with the hooding, although it looks like they've got it well in hand. Her committee members are Dr. Donna Lissa Fisher and Dr. Rome Romagnoli. Our next honoree is Dr. Erica Omena Erickson. Dr. Omena Erickson's dissertation title is From the Grassroots Up, Leadership Journey Testimonials of Latinas Unionizing in Early Care and Education. I am her dissertation chair, so I'll be there in a second. Her committee members are Dr. Mina Kim and Dr. Cecilia Santos. Our next honoree is Dr. Aaron Fender. Dr. Fender's dissertation title is Teacher Perceptions of Support Needed from Administrators to Implement Project-Based Learning in High School Mathematics. Her dissertation chair is Dr. Kimberly Seashore. Her committee members are Dr. Stephanie Sisk-Hilton and Dr. Christy Wagner. Congratulations, Dr. Fender. Let's get those photos. Our next honoree is Dr. Cynthia Jerez Martinez. Dr. Jerez Martinez's dissertation is entitled Comadres in the Work, Women of the Global Majority in Educational Leadership. Her dissertation chair is Dr. Donna Lissa Fisher. Her committee members are Dr. Rama Gasad and Dr. Crystal Edwards.
Thank you to everyone. I'm just going to talk because I can do that. Thank you. I saw some of the staff over here. You guys, amazing. Dr. Henderson, we're not leaving, so
Good, because I'd miss you if you did.
Performing, but I really appreciate all of you because we could have not done it without the selling $1.8 million under your guidance, Chip. So thank you for that and all the work. And to my crew, give it up to all my Dominicans and thank you.
Even in heels, she can make that step. Wow. Beautiful. Thank you. Our next honoree is Dr. Adriana Lopez Lobovitz. Her dissertation title is Understanding the Role of the Governing Boards in Fostering Belonging for Students of Color at a Private Nonprofit, a Case Study. Her dissertation chair is Dr. Irina Okmenachuk. Her committee members are Dr. Mingye Lee and Dr. Angela Meeker. Congratulations, Dr. Lopez Lobovitz. Finally, mommy. Our next honoree is Dr. Allison Mock. Dr. Mock's dissertation title is Transformative Narratives, Urban High School Math Educators Shifting Towards Student-Centered Pedagogies. Her dissertation chair is Dr. Evra Baldinger. Her committee members are Dr. Daniel Meyer and Dr. Violet Ballard. Congratulations, Dr. Mock. Our next honoree is Dr. Wendelin Murrow. Dr. Murrow's dissertation title is Teacher, School Social Worker, and School Counselors, Working Alliances in Rural Schools. Her dissertation chair is Dr. Julie Chronister. And she's got it right now. She's got it. Her committee members are Dr. Cynthia Martinez and Dr. Molly Maureen Streer. Congratulations, Dr. Morrow. Wendy's making Shanice wait for it here, but we got it. Our next honoree is Dr. Shanice Robinson Blacknell. We got to do like the Met Gala here and pick this woman up. Her dissertation title is Shawty Wanna Be a Thug? How do incarcerated black men successfully escape the school to prison pipeline? Her dissertation chair is Dr. Doris Flowers. Her committee members are Dr. Daniel Meyer and Dr. Landon Hill. Congratulations, Dr. Robinson Blacknell.
Thank you, everyone. Tupac made it to the academy, y'all.
Our next honoree is Dr. David Rourke. Dr. Rourke's, yeah, get up there. Dr. Rourke's dissertation title is Making a House a Home, Exploring the Impact of On-Campus Housing on Autistic Students' Sense of Belonging. His dissertation chair is Dr. Sheldon Jen. His committee members are Dr. Betty Yu and Dr. W. Jeff Cooper. Congratulations, Dr. Rourke. Aw. Congratulations. Our next honoree is Dr. Tracy Rainier. Dr. Rainier's dissertation title is Principles, Budget, Decision-Making Practices, and Student Equity. Her dissertation chair is Dr. Sheldon Jen. Her committee members are Dr. Judith Kish and Dr. Angela Meeker. Congratulations, Dr. Rainier. Our next honoree, Sheldon, you should just be standing up. I don't know. Is Dr. Alberto Santellan. Dr. Santellan's dissertation title is Hope for Change, exploring the role of hope in California community college students who experience academic probation. Dr. Santellan's dissertation chair is Dr. Sheldon Jen, and his committee members are Dr. Jeff Duncan Andrade and Dr. Nguyen Orante. Congratulations, Dr. Santellan. John, am I putting you? Our next honoree is Dr. John Ulloa. Dr. Ulloa was not able to drive his car into the venue, but his dissertation title is Driving the Data, a critical ethnography of low-riding culture in educational spaces. His dissertation chair is Dr. George Barganier. His committee members are Dr. Jeff Duncan Andrade and Dr. Jamal Cooks. Congratulations, Dr. Ulloa. Good enough. All right. Aww. Our next to last honoree is Dr. Pia Walawakar. Are you holding? Okay. Dr. Wallawakar's dissertation title is Promoting Critical Global Citizenship, Education Through Collaborative Engagements Among Academic Library and Disciplinary Faculty. Dr. Wallawakar's dissertation chair is Dr. Daniel Meyer, and committee members are Dr. Barbara Henderson and Dr. Rome Romagnoli. And our final graduate for today's program, the very Honorable Dr. Shimon Wright. Oh, go on up on the stage. Dr. Wright's dissertation title is You Ain't My Daddy, the effects of the BBNG program on developing the institutional trust and academic success of black males in grades K-12. Dr. Wright's Dr. Wright's dissertation chair is Dr. George Barganier, and his committee members are Dr. Jeff Duncan Andrade and Dr. Ishman Anderson. Congratulations, Dr. Wright. Wow.
Thank you.
Right on.
Wow, what a way to end it. These pages are intentionally left blank, so that must mean it's time to proceed to the food and the visiting and the fun. Thank you all for being here. Congratulations once again, graduating class of 2024. Alicia wants to say something? Everyone, let the graduates and the faculty proceed from the venue first and then run out and get the cake. But wait for them to go first. All right. Congratulations.
Carlos, you got it? Or just YouTube.
Great job.
Well done. I was a teacher in South Korea and then that's what I'm saying.
Why did you become a teacher? You know it's not easy. Every day is a new challenge. But deep inside of you, you know why. Because you transform lives. You bring hope. And in the end, you know every second is worth it. Become a teacher at San Francisco State.